We're now very pleased to be joined on the line by Inkosi Sipho Mahlangu, who speaks to us in his capacity as the chairperson of the National Task Team. Mhlonishwa, a very good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for joining us on News today.
Thank you. Good afternoon, and good afternoon to your viewers.
Now, Mhlonishwa, as chair of the task team, please tell us what's been done to ensure that initiates are safe during this initiation season.
I think this year we've come up with extremely stringent laws. We've strengthened our relations with the justice cluster. We've set up committees that would make sure that they monitor in each and every province. We are also cascading it down to local municipalities where forums or initiation coordinating committees would be there and doing spot checks at each and every single school that is going to be there throughout the country. We've passed, the Cabinet has approved the policy on initiation, so now we have a document that we can work on that guides us in terms of what is it that we need to do. So we'll be checking compliance in terms of making sure that children are pre-screened, traditional surgeons have been registered, and those schools have been registered with traditional leaders. We'll be working closely with the Department of Health in the provision of doctors and medical male nurses to make sure that we respond to any emergency situation that may arise during this period. We are also busy with campaigns now, awareness campaigns, public awareness campaigns, where we have Imbumba Yamakosikazi in the Eastern Cape going around schools with traditional leaders in the Eastern Cape, because Eastern Cape has accounted for 80% of the 101 deaths that we spoke about. So the main focus would be in the Eastern Cape, as that's where the hotspots are. So we'll be visiting, arresting those that would need to be arrested, because the NPA is with us. They would be implementing, the act that deals with organized crime, because we believe that these bogus schools, in most cases, are organized crime, and they have to be dealt with as such.
Mhlonishwa, look, the big question of different cultures has also been brought to the fore. I mean, amasiko are not the same among clans. How do you then vouch for a legislation that will encompass all aspects of culture, Bab?
Look, I think our legislation mainly looks at the health aspect of the child. We respect different communities, because it allows for peculiarities in each and every province in terms of how culture is performed. But I think there's only one element that would lead to death. It is not necessarily the cultural part of it. So it is mainly the physical part, of which in most cases it is not done correctly. So that's where we are intervening and trying to make sure that as we respect different people's cultures, because even the monitoring teams will comprise of people that are coming from different cultures. The doctors that are there are doctors that would have gone to initiation, that would understand the different cultures that are there within initiation. So we'll respect culture, and we'll be very stringent when it comes to those that are breaking the law.
All right, and now back, I want to stay with the issue of legislation, because I want to know how soon can we expect a very clear indication of laws relating to what happens to those who disobey the rules. I think people want to hear what kind of harsh consequences they will face in Mhlonishwa.
Already there have been people that have been convicted in relation to initiation issues. The problem that we've had is that we have not had a national framework that dealt with initiation. So now currently Cabinet has approved a policy. A policy is a precursor to a legislation. So then that legislation will be taken through to provinces so that people can comment and make suggestions in relation to what we need to do. Because there have been people that have been convicted, but other people feel that the convictions and the sentences that are there are not enough to deter those that would be doing this crime. So hence, people are calling for much stringent laws, where provinces that have passed, these acts or that have passed this legislation, like Mpumalanga has passed the legislation. Eastern Cape does have a legislation, but that legislation had loopholes. So this policy is meant towards closing those gaps that we've identified within those legislations. Even in Limpopo, there is a legislation that deals with initiation. But the national framework will cover the loopholes that we are seeing in all these policies that are there. we've requested through the minister, where a letter has been written to provinces, that as much as the policy has not become a law yet,
yes,
but we are saying that some of those pieces within the law, within the policy, should be implemented by provinces. And we're also calling for the change of the Criminal Procedure Act, which will talk to the illegal schools, because that's why we are having serious problems.
Thank you so much, Mhlonishwa, for joining us here. That is Inkosi Sipho Mahlangu. He was talking to us in his capacity as chairperson of the National Task Team about the upcoming initiation season.